So 3 years ago, the first Guardians of the Galaxy ended summer on a high note. This summer, Guardians Volume 2 has the pressure to open this summer season. Let's pray it's good!
I have to do everything! You are wasting a lot of time! That's a really bad sign.
So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is the sequel to 2014 smash hit Guardians of the Galaxy, and in this film, once again we follow the Guardians, Star-Lord, Gamora, Rocket Raccoon, Drax, Destroyer, and now Baby Groot as they go on another series of adventures, and as they're on that adventure, they stumble onto Star-Lord's father, played by Kurt Russell. Alrighty guys, so let's get into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So those of you who know, I loved the first Guardians of the Galaxy. As a matter of fact, it was in my top 10 favorite films in 2014, and it's in my top 5 favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. So I was really looking forward to Guardians Volume 2. So did I like it? Yeah, I liked it. So first of all, the characters I love so much, and I thought they were even more developed, especially in this one. The dynamic in this movie, I thought was even more improved than it was in the first one. Chris Pratt, I love him as Star-Lord. He is so good in this role. Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon. He was my favorite character in the last one. While he wasn't quite my favorite character in this movie, he was one of my favorite characters in this movie. Zoe Saldana is awesome as Gamora. Dave Bautista as Drax the Destroyer. He was hysterical in this movie. Like, there were a lot of lines, I'm not gonna lie, in which I was nearly gut-busting with laughter. Like, seriously, Dave Bautista is a natural for this role. Michael Rooker really surprised me this time as Yondu. I thought that his character was the absolute best character of this entire film. He had this one certain part that made me go like, I love you, Yondu. I love you! Honestly, when Yondu and Rocket were together, those were my favorite parts of the entire film. The charm was there, the smiles for me were especially there, and the most laughs came from those scenes. Like, I love their scenes together. And yes, Baby Groot, he is as adorable as you would think, and he is awesome as you would think. The opening scene, I gotta tell you guys, the opening scene of this movie, I loved the opening scene of this movie. It's this really great one-shot take, that's all I'm gonna say, and the song they used for this scene, perfect. And also, I gotta say, once about halfway through the second act clicked in, that's when I thought the movie just took off and just went bam, got so much better than it was. And also, I did like Kurt Russell in this movie as Ego, as Star-Lord's father. It's not a spoiler at this point, guys. It's been revealed months ago that Kurt Russell will be playing as Peter Quill's father, and I thought he did a good job. And I did really like the ending of this movie. The ending of this movie, I'm not gonna lie, the ending of this movie makes me want to see more of what James Gunn will do with Volume 3. So as I said in my pros, I liked Guardians Volume 2, but I didn't love it like I wanted to. And to be pretty honest with you guys, I found it kind of disappointing. I love the opening scene. I love the opening scene of this movie. But afterwards, it felt as if it kind of got lost within itself. The biggest thing I can say about this movie in terms of flaws is that there's hardly a story in this movie until I felt like halfway through the second act of this movie. Like, after the first opening action sequence, which again I loved, there are these people that are going after the Guardians that just felt like that they were in there just to have something to go after the Guardians, to give some type of conflict, and that conflict felt useless to me. But I love the characters. There's a few of them that are given almost nothing to do. Like, for example, Drax the Destroyer. I loved him in the first movie, and as funny as he was in this movie, he does almost nothing but tell jokes throughout the entire film. For after the first action scene, for at least the first 45 minutes to at least the first hour, the movie felt very disjointed. It felt like an uneven movie. Things felt kind of all over the place. It didn't feel as complete as I wanted it to feel. And not to mention, some parts, I'm not gonna lie, felt very filler, as much as I hate to say it. The first Guardians of the Galaxy had awesome humor. There was almost not a single point in the first film in which I was not gut-busting laughing. And this one, however, the humor was kind of hit or miss. Like, there were some parts where I was either chuckling or laughing hysterically, and there were some parts where the humor just felt forced, and some of it was just like, wait, what? And also probably for me, one of the biggest downers of this movie was Awesome Mix Volume 2. I love Awesome Mix Volume 1. As a matter of fact, I had the soundtrack on me. I listened to it a lot, like a lot of the time. And I remember every single song that was in Awesome Mix Volume 1. With Awesome Mix Volume 2, I remember maybe 3 songs out of the entire soundtrack, and I only listened to one of them a lot. Just one of them. So overall, while I did like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, sadly, I honestly found Guardians Volume 2 to be one of the weaker Marvel films. I'm sorry to say this, but I will say I did have enough entertainment and enjoyment out of this to give this movie a 3.25 out of 5. Guys, I'm sorry. I really wanted to love this movie, but I walked out kind of disappointed. Will I watch it again? Probably not, to be honest with you guys. But I will say, though, there is still fun and enjoyment to have in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. There is. And I do still want to see what James Gunn does with the Volume 3. Alrighty, guys, so comment down and let me know below. Out of all the MCU released so far, what is your favorite Marvel movie? And the cinematic universe, that is. Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I am on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, where I stream every Saturday night. I have a Snapchat. And if you guys liked what you saw, please hit that like button, share the crap out of this video with your pals, and also subscribe to see more content from me. And of course, until the next review, I'll see you guys next time.